I'm a handsome young man. My mama told me so.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, everybody talking to the mic. You hear yourself?
Yeah, you hear me.
Sounds good.
beautiful.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Should I turn it up a little bit? Everybody, you like that?
I like that.
All right, cool. 3, 2, 1, wham! I'm DeathCoreDre. This is my boy Blaise, and this is Devin right here. This is the first episode of my podcast, No Brainer. It's things you don't know, but I feel like you should. And what you should know is that there's people like Devin out here. Free-minded, free-spirited, and we about to get into this right now. All right? Devin, how you doing, brother?
Doing beautiful. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Can't complain. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain either.
Good, good. So what we about to do right now is we about to do a little rundown of Devin's crazy adventures and things that he has done in his life that I think is very interesting. We had a short conversation about this, last week?
Yeah, sounds about
And
right.
after that little conversation, I decided that we had to do a podcast because I was going to do the podcast anyway, but this had to be my first episode. Like,
I'm honored. Oh
So-
my god, damn.
first of all, man, where you from, Devin?
Originally from Riverdale, Maryland. You know, just
Talk.
right outside DC.
Okay.
Family Jamaican.
Cool. So I actually know Devin from high school. So did you go to Blade all 4 years?
Yep.
I know Devin from Blade. I went to Blade with him all 4 years, high school. We actually had Jefferson 10th grade year.
Yep.
That's when I actually found out Devin. And Devin was always just on to some hectic shit, bro. So like, just funny ass nigga, bro. Say the wildest things, like no lie. All right. So first of all, what elementary school you went to, bro?
Templeton. I actually got held up at gunpoint right behind that school too. It was amazing.
Okay, so
I thought about using one of my classmates as a human shield. You know, I remember it. It was just like
Survival.
I seen it and I'm just like idea, and then I seen like the fear on his face, and I'm like,
all right,
damn,
hold on. We're gonna have to back up, bro. Back up. First of all, you got any siblings, bro?
nah.
No siblings, only child?
I mean, I got some brothers, but I have brothers, but they in jail. So
Half brothers?
Yeah.
Like half brothers from
like my father's side.
your father's side? So
Yeah.
okay, so how many kids your mom got?
Just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
How many kids your dad got?
I mean, I truly don't know.
You truly don't know. How many you know of?
Maybe 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe 4.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
maybe.
I'm not gonna hold you. Look, my dad. Yeah, I want to talk about my dad. My dad has 14 kids that I know of. I didn't meet my dad until I was 23 years old.
God damn,
Wow,
nigga.
man. Swinging
24.
it.
Yeah, my father is hectic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but anyway, so growing up, right, like through elementary school, like it was like, who lived in the house? Was it just you, your mom, your dad,
Yeah, it's just my mom and grandma.
your mom, your grandma,
real
you?
matriarchal household. You know, what I mean, just woman household.
So your dad wasn't there.
Nah.
So it's just you, your mom, your grandmother.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So and you said you went to Templeton.
Yeah.
What middle school you went to?
William Wirt.
William Wirt, and then you went to Blade all 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So first of all, let's just bite down deep into this, bro. Like, what do you classify your sexuality, bro?
I've hit the gender trifecta: men, trans, women. I mean, at this point now, I'm just you'd label it bi, but I'm just like romantically, I would say I'm only really attracted to like women and trans, simply because it's like a chick with a dick, so it's like the best of like middle worlds, like right in the middle, like the best of both worlds type shit.
Okay. So
What made you like dive into that? Like,
When I graduated high school in 2014, I was like, I'm a virgin. I felt bad about
you were
that.
a virgin when
Yeah.
you graduated, bro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just like,
Okay, no, hold on. Let me just jump in here. Mind you, I remember I've witnessed this man say just the wildest things. Like, I'm not even going to mention names. Like, just being in class and him just seeing a specific girl. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And him always telling her how he would eat her ass. This is 10th grade. Wow. I'm talking about eating ass before.
boy, it was cool.
I mean,
We weren't eating
I
ass.
was in middle school
10th
talking about eating ass.
10th grade was what? 2012, 2013?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2012.
2011, 12. Yeah.
12, 11,
yeah.
12. So, go ahead. Finish.
So
After high school, you were a virgin.
after that, I realized I'm like, shit, like going to the bars, fuck that. Like, that's just not like efficient to get sex. So I'm like, this is how my mind works. I'm like, what is the most efficient way of getting sex? So then I found out about Craigslist Casual Encounters, where you can just like post a picture of your dick and just being like BBC looking for twink, or BBC looking for MILF, or BBC looking for anyone. It was just, it's like making like a newspaper posting for sex. It was like the sweetest thing. I went from a virgin to being in an orgy within like 14 hours.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, so what did this orgy? How many people was in this orgy?
4.
4 people, and what were they?
1 man and 2 trans.
1 man, and so all guys, all dicks.
Pretty much. And then at that point, I realized that I'm like, damn, women, like there was such like this pedestal on women. Like, damn, women's ain't trying to let me smash. So I'm like, who is letting me smash? Niggas and trans. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me take the gay hat off and be like, let me just see this as just a more efficient form of masturbation. Right? This is just like, hey, you go to a masseuse. You ever have a nigga clean your nails at like the pedicure?
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't do pedicures, bro.
Nigga, nails probably have shit in them.
My nails don't have shit in them, bro. This is blood in my nail actually right here. But besides that, no, bro.
Put a bar soap to that bitch.
But I just want to back up, bro. Like, so when did you determine that you just didn't give a fuck, bro? Like, was it after high school?
I realized that there was a part of me that I was denying, and there was like, how deep down, it's almost like challenging yourself. It's like, hey, eat ass. Nah, I ain't trying to eat ass, bitch. What?
Okay, but my question is like, when did you even question yourself, bro?
I mean, it was like, I'd honestly say way back in like middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah, like it was, I found myself, like, don't you know when you're out here trying to like just score, like just out here on the prowl, like just trying to get ass, just like, hey, what's going on? What's your name? Blah blah. Just interacting. And I always just found myself like,
in middle
why
school?
do I feel like I'm hunting type shit?
Okay.
And then I was just like, nah, like this whole talking stuff to people is hard. So I'm like, can we just like skip the talking part and just get to sex? You know what I mean?
And that's how you felt in high school? Middle school?
Yeah,
middle school,
like in middle school. And
okay.
like I tried, it was like every day I'm like, oh my god, I was like literally going insane because I was on like ADHD meds since I was like in elementary. And then at one point I just said fuck it, and I just stopped taking it. I was taking those joints for like probably closer on to
Talk
like
closer, bro.
almost like 8 years or so of like ADHD meds. So pretty much like of elementary to high school. And then it was just like a, I don't like the way this shit makes me feel. Then fuck it. Then I'm gonna take in control.
Okay, so this is deep. I want to ask you, like, how, like, when did you start the ADHD medicine, bro?
Fucking elementary. Like, no, it was like elementary because I remember biting. I think I bit like a teacher and like the principal.
It's crazy that they jump like any act of, especially for a man, at that, or a boy at that age, they jump right into the, ADHD. Oh, he acted out.
That's where I was about to go with this.
They always jump right to. But I'll let you.
I was about to ask you, like, so like, who initially? I mean, of course, your mom took you to the doctor or something, and that's what they recommended.
Yeah, it was, that was a recommendation, and definitely like that with like psychiatry. But to me, as like a young kid, it was just like, yo, like I was literally felt like I was taking a passenger seat to my mind, and I'm like, yo, what? Like I'm literally, there were times I was like literally like, yo, I can't register emotion. Like I was like, imagine somebody telling a joke and you're like, oh, that's funny. But like you feel the effect of laughter and you want to laugh, but it's just like, nah, it's just not there, just not connecting.
That's actually not good. I feel like that hurts. Especially boys growing up. More than they know. It's harmful. I understand that. People do act out, boys do act out, but the first step shouldn't be medication.
Yeah,
because it affects just like you said. You have that effect. It's gonna hurt. On the back end, because like you said, you never want to take a back seat to your mind.
Yeah, and I started realizing even at an early age where it was just like, okay, who's the worst enemy? Like I'm not fucking happy with who I am right now. So what would I want to do to be like at least get close to, if not happiness, but like Don't you know that feeling that you get after you bust a nut and you're just like, oh yeah, finally.
Just some relief for like a couple seconds.
Like relief.
Yeah.
And that's just like, oh, like everything's right in the world. What's that?
So
Okay.
who do you think you please better?
Versus trans and women. Trans, I'd say that men, women, that's interchangeable. So I'm not gonna keep saying that, but I'd honestly say probably men. Just simply because I was a sex worker for shit. I still am now. But I really just saw it as like just practice at getting good at sex. It's like practicing at stretching type shit almost.
Yeah, that's definitely deep. You know, I feel like I said, just going back to the ADHD medication. You know, that's something that, you know, is definitely, I feel like, harmful. You know, more than anything. You know. Because, you know, I was almost there, you know, going to be put on that medication. But my dad was like, no, he's just a young boy. He's going to, you know, do those things. That's, I never bit anybody, but it was always just like, hey, you know, I can't sit still. Doesn't mean I need to be put on medication.
Literally, that was how it was felt. It was just like, oh, like, you're not acting like how the other kids are acting, so we'll use chemical warfare to rectify that behavior. And I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah, it's definitely not, you know, a solution. I feel like, you know, some extreme cases, yes, but it's not a solution to the problem of, you know, a kid acting out. At that point, maybe therapy, maybe, you know, talking, or maybe, you know, actually, you know, considering, you know, the young child other than just, you know, medication, you know.
Yeah, communication is definitely key. But
yeah, sorry, I had to step off for some technical difficulties. Let me see. What were you just talking about, bro?
So I was talking about how ADHD pretty much like just opened. After I quit my ADHD meds, it was like Pandora's box opening.
Right,
everything I thought I wanted to do, let's fucking do it.
Okay, now. So look, this is what I wanted to ask you. So I actually spoke to somebody before that was on that, and they basically was telling me like how when they went to the hospital and their parents basically agreed to that shit, like that shit made them feel a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. The sense of, I made a joke. I remember making jokes about this. Like my mom circumcised me, and I remember like after I had like a fucking, not like when I was younger, obviously when I was a baby.
Okay.
But like when I had like appendix, I had appendicitis, and she like. It was like something like little joke because it was like, oh, you can choose to keep the organ after you get it removed, right? And she just decided to throw it away, and I was like, I just felt some type of way, and I'm like, just like a humorous, like, hey, why the fuck are you throwing away? Like that's not yours. That's like part of me.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just made me realize, like, damn, like I had somebody almost, whether or not they thought it was good or bad, but good intention because it's my mother. But I had somebody kind of just like. Kind of puppeteering my mind in a way.
Sure.
Like I just felt her presence in my mind in the way of like every time I take this, not like oh it's bad or it's good. It's just like
you taking the shit against your will type.
Yeah, I don't have sovereignty over my mind. Like
sure.
Oh shit, like these thoughts, like who the fuck is this?
Right. Yeah. Okay, so when did you stop taking it?
Literally 10th grade.
10th grade.
Actually, probably 9th.
9th grade.
Yeah.
So
okay,
a couple years on the medication. So
nah. Well, I mean, you're talking like since elementary school, so we're talking like at least 7.
Oh, okay.
At least what, like 7
7
years straight?
Yeah, like some from like 5th. Yeah, some from like 5th grade all the way up to like 9th, like beginning of 10th.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, like I said, 10th grade is when I found out who this nigga is, and funny man, wild guy. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I didn't know all of that shit, bro. Like I mean, yeah, no bullshit. So you feel better like without that shit, right?
Yeah, you know, I started realizing that, like beyond the ADHD, like going into like psychedelics, doing LSD, mushrooms, you really start to peel back what you think you are and where you actually are. Like where the reality of like, all right, do you fucking hate this or do you fucking love this? With your subconscious, you know what I mean? Like beyond that, you might be like, oh, you know, middle stepping. I almost had to be in an altered mind state to kind of get to that point to really figure out like, oh, yo, I'm just like a really sensual person. Just like sexuality, it's just like a good avenue of which to talk and use like this is just like a need. It's like having sex, like you can have sex platonically.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
genuinely. And like it's just like a good,
Yeah.
almost like just like a good fucking
good time. I feel like for men, it's easier to have sex platonically, though.
I mean,
what do you think about that?
I've had like over at this point now, I think over 100 over 100 clients.
100 clients.
And
clients.
I mean, when you get to the point where you're just like, I'm bored, what can I do to someone?
Yeah.
And then you're just like,
now we getting into the hecticness. Like I actually want to dissect your brain, bro. Like I want to go from the jump and understand how you went through these steps to, you know what I'm saying, to get to the point where you're just like, fuck it. If it has a hole, I'll fuck it. Basically, that's
every
how you
hole's
feel,
a goal.
basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Every hole is a goal, people. I mean, I respect that, bro. Like I definitely respect that, bro. Like real life. So look, you said in middle school is when you started questioning yourself, right? So what made you question yourself? Like, do you remember that around that time, your thought process?
I was playing a lot of, like, I was noticing, like, I'd be up to eating ass. I was like, I just remembered, like, always.
Oh, no funny. I'm not letting him hit my J. You see, I'm not trying to be funny, bro. Just we're gonna get deep into some shit. I know some shit about Devin that I'm gonna wait. You got your weed, right?
Yes,
Would you like my girl to roll your weed for you, bro?
Yeah.
Boo, can you roll his weed for me, please?
It's in my backpack right there.
All right, like Devin, I love you, bro, but trust me,
Respect.
do not pass him. It's the J.
The big pocket. There's a jar. Nah, the one behind it. The one closest to her. The one. No, the big one.
There you go.
There's a jar in there. Yeah. Thank you.
Now let's get back on track now. Okay. Well, first of all, what is she rolling this in?
Oh, do you have any papers? I can use your papers.
Boom. Can you roll in a raw paper, please? Because I want to show these guys what I got.
Oh,
so
yeah.
can you do that,
please?
Please,
Thank you.
You gonna face that? You gonna finish that?
Yeah.
No, you
My
smoking?
clothes in pockets.
You not smoking?
No.
Yeah, it looks or just like,
I thought Blaise smoked.
just make sure,
I do.
like, just make sure
Sometimes
none
you
falls out.
You gotta catch me on a good day.
Catch you on a good day, bro.
You know.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's not a good enough day, bro.
It's not a good one.
All right, I got you, bro. I'm not gonna peer pressure my man into smoking. You know what I'm saying? But okay, let's get back on track. Around the time where you started questioning yourself, how did this happen, bro?
I realized that
Talk closer to the mic, brother.
I realized that I was more open to the concept of homosexuality. Not like, oh, like they're demons, but it was just more one of those things where I'm just like, how are those motherfuckers? Like that gay shit must be the shit. Like if you're just like, I was just thinking like this in middle school. Wait a second, you're just like, I can just smash like a homie and I don't have to listen to like a woman's mouth. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, I can just like fuck.
Okay, wait, Devin. So let me ask you this: when you started thinking, like, cause I'm gonna tell you, like, when I was younger, I remember when I started thinking about sex and shit, right, and fucking and stuff. It was specific females and specific things that I would think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you're young.
Ooh, this girl is
right.
Yeah.
And then as time went on and as I got older, it just got deeper and deeper into. So for real, like when motherfuckers say, like I've heard people say like the shit that you're into or the shit that turned you on as a kid, that shit lasts with you. Like that's how I felt with certain things. So let me ask you this, bro. I want to ask, like, who were you seeing that you thought was attractive? Was this normal niggas? Was this gay niggas? Trans niggas?
It was never niggas that I was like looking at like that. Like I remember just for fun one day, I literally I was like hanging out with like a childhood friend one time, and I remember being able to kind of like I convinced him to suck my dick, and I remember.
Okay, so hold on. When was this?
I was like in middle school. We were both
in middle school, and you convinced your homie to suck your dick.
Yeah.
Now,
not necessarily like a homie, just more like, oh, you know, let's say homie. Yeah.
So it was an acquaintance, basically.
Yeah,
someone you knew, someone you spoke to. You spoke to him daily?
Nah, it was just one of those things like I'm going over somebody's house and we're just chilling playing video games.
Nah, if you're going over somebody's house, that's your man's, bro.
Nah, it was like family. Well, I guess you could say like family.
That's
friend.
your man's or your family friend? Family friend.
You know what I mean?
Watch the table. Family friend, and y'all play games together, right?
Yeah.
And was this guy? Because I believe in like how how do I say this? Like, there's specific type of niggas, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's basically like, there's like niggas that get ran by niggas, and there's niggas that run shit, like alpha male, beta male type shit. Was this nigga like a nigga, or was he, you know what I'm saying, a skeptic type shit? Did you more so I'm asking, did you sense it in him that he would do it?
I sensed that I can convince him to suck my dick.
Okay.
And at that point, it was just became a question of
When?
like, hey, what's up, dude?
Okay.
You wanna
Okay, so hold on. So you have to walk me through this, bro. What happened, bro? Like,
we're
you linked with him?
Yeah, we're just playing fucking Incredibles.
Yeah, we're playing in the Incredibles. Like, what was this, like, after school during? Like,
yeah, it was like after school. Like
after school.
Yeah, like probably like no, it was definitely like the Saturday. It was either like a Friday or like a Saturday.
So you was his? Who was you at his house or was he at your house?
Yeah, I was at his house.
You was at his house.
Yeah.
And was his parents there?
Nah, they left.
So it was just y'all.
Yeah.
In middle school.
Yeah.
Playing Incredibles.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you go about the situation? Y'all was playing the game and what?
Honestly, at that point, I was just like, damn, I'm bored, and we kept like having like this locker room talk, and at one point, I was just like, not even off some gay shit. I'm just like, I wonder if I can get this dude.
Locker room talk, like, what do you mean?
Like, look at this. Like, he's showing me hints, like porn vids, like fucking Victoria's Secret, like videos, but like catalogs and shit.
Okay.
And like other types of like big booty ebony like bitches and shit.
So that's the shit that he was showing you. He was showing you straight shit.
Yeah, just showing me straight shit.
And meanwhile, you was on there like, I'm gonna tell this nigga suck my meat, bro.
Yeah.
He said, I'm a demon. I'm
trying
trying to hit you right now.
Turn that shit off, nigga. You can suck my dick in here, bro. Yo.
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So boom, he's showing you the shit, right? He's showing you that, and then so what happened, bro?
At that point, afterwards, I'm getting dome, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like,
No, wait. You have to go back. You have to tell me. Like, you remember what you said to him?
nah. To be honest,
don't
I
remember?
just remember just being like, just looking motherfucker in the eyes and smile. Next second, I'm getting my dick sucked. Legitimately.
Wow. That nigga, he was so smooth with it that he don't even remember it.
What the words were. He just was like,
He just said straight to the business, bro.
yeah.
So
No bullshit.
So after that, so what happened after? Like, what did you do?
After that, I'm just like, oh, good game. Like, I mean, like, well, what? You want me to fucking give you my number? Like,
And y'all just went back to normal, like nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Did you ever talk about it like after? Was that awkward?
No. I mean, like, well, I didn't talk about it. I just got head. There's nothing awkward for me to talk about. Like, I mean, no. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know. I mean, what the fuck was his? I don't even really remember the dude's name. But honestly, now it was just like one of those things. I'm like, oh, I just got head.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like getting a car wash. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Wow. So like, y'all never spoke about it ever again.
well, what's there to speak about? You sucked my dick.
Wow.
Period. There's no comma after that,
Listen,
my nigga. What the fuck?
He a different breed.
This nigga right here is not playing, bro.
He's like, top me off.
And I'm way
What do you want to talk about our feelings? This gay as fuck.
He was always here for the top.
This nigga on straight go ham time, bro. He don't give a fuck.
Oh my
He said, nigga, family friends, right? Nigga, that's what this is, bitch.
Yeah,
that nigga sick, bro.
We all on that dose. That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, so boom, you never talk about that shit again, right? You just move on. Okay, so
Yeah.
what was from that point? Like you say, you was in middle school. What was your next sexual experience that you have after that? Like from that time, when was the next time you either got the neck or you fucked somebody?
Nah, it wasn't like a thing of getting neck at that point. After that point, I was just like, I wonder if I can get away with just nutting on shit.
Explain.
Like I would just be like, yo, I'm in the bathroom.
You gotta go deep.
I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, yo, I wonder if I can nut on this doorknob. And
You talking about like distance shooting type shit?
nah, I'm just like, nah, fuck the next nigga that grabs this doorknob.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait.
That's at your school.
Whip your dick out, go to a door handle, nut on it, and then just be like, my work here is done, and then just walk away.
He knows in the back of his head, somebody's going to open that door.
Bro, hold on. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Time out.
Was you doing that in high school?
Yeah. I was doing that in the Navy.
What?
Jay,
What?
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Time the fuck out, bro. Time out. Time out. Hold on. Wait. First of all, time out, bro. Mm-hmm. When you said you was nutting on doorknobs, bruh, I was trying to wait to dig deeper in that.
Yeah.
What doorknobs? Are you talking about your doorknob at your house?
Nah.
Or you talking about public? Bro,
Public.
you are
Yeah.
Bro, you are a crazy man, bro. You are a crazy
criminal activity,
bro.
Hey, look, we ain't trying to be fed on this podcast. Hey, look, don't get caught up. We not fed.
Time out. Hold on. Let me see.
Looks good. Looks.
Time out, bro.
Man.
So look, we gonna veer off to another direction, bro.
Yeah, but we gonna have to dive back. We gonna have to dive back into that one. After.
I mean, like it was my outlet. You know what I mean? It wasn't
crazy,
something
bro.
I was doing that I was like, oh yo, this
No.
is wild. I'm just like no girls are trying to let me grab their ass. I'm like, what's the next thing?
At any point, did you feel
let me
like
just nut on a doorknob?
Nut on the doorknob, bro.
At any point did you feel like, because I know you said in high school you was having these urges and you was just wanting to fuck anything. Did you feel like at any moment, like middle school, elementary, high school, like did you feel any satisfaction or any like?
Oh, absolutely not. I was like the most like perpetually angst, like a ball of just frustration. And once I kind of got out of that setting of high school like area, and I realized, all right, like let me try this the early days of Tinder, Badoo, where just like a lot of it was pay to play. I started selling my dick. I mean, it just became like I need to get good at like the sexual arts. So I need to do the rounds. Him. A lot of times it was getting male clients was easier. I didn't let them fuck me. I just something like, hey, suck my dick. If you want me to fuck you, that's gonna be like 300, like 350 or something, 250. We can talk about. We can like negotiate the fucking price and shit, right?
You got a lighter?
Yeah. Oh no, I did not have a lighter actually.
Where's the lighter?
Is that right there?
Oh, it's right here.
There you go.
Lighter.
All right, so what I was asking you, bro, like from middle school, from that time that shit happened, when was the next time you had some type of sexual experience with somebody, bro? You get what I'm saying? Like the distance from then to when? When's the next time?
Yeah, probably.
Then.
And then there you
Oh
go.
shit.
Here.
Oh shit, it looks. The next time, it was when I literally graduated high school.
From when you graduated high school.
Actually, no. The next thing was when I ate my girlfriend's pussy out in the basement.
Wait. So
my mom's house basement.
when was this? Was this high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a girlfriend in high school, bro?
At the end of high school, band geek.
Did you tell her that you were interested in? I mean, I don't think at that time you would really tell, but did you tell them that you were interested in male and female?
It was one of those things where I'm realizing like, oh, you're not even like you're talking about missionary. Like your pussy's on a pedestal. I'm not even having that convo.
Oh,
okay. You're like if fucking you is a goal and that's your mindset, then already I'm like, okay.
You gotta talk into the mic.
You know what I mean? If you like value your pussy as like something like, oh, like I will divine you to hit this. I'll dine you the right to hit this. I'm just like, man, fuck you. My dick's better. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
He said, I know what he
bro.
said. I'm about to say, sometimes you got to know what you bagging.
Bro, facts, bro.
And, you can't be taken advantage of. If you know what you got,
yeah,
and you
bro.
know the value of what you can do.
And you dealing with subpar, hey, it's like
you ain't really,
you ain't worried about it, bro. You ain't worried about it.
Once you get your ass ate for like 2.5 hours, nearly 3 hours, like the bounds for like, all right, like if I'm giving you head and then I'm like, all right, your turn type shit. You give me head and it's trash. I'm like looking at you like, damn, I bet your mama cook some trash fucking like Sunday dinner.
This nigga is brutal.
Like I'm judging your household.
He said, "Fuck it, shorty, you are the worst type of person."
Yeah, he said, "I feel any cheap on that dick," and bro, my man is not.
My man is.
He said, "The pussy trash. We not.
Fuck it.
It ain't gonna work."
This man is brutal.
I mean, there was this one time I got hired by a couple, and they wanted me. They had recently had like a miscarriage, and they wanted me to be like their African adopted baby. So they had me like in a little fucking onesie. and like their crib. They
Bro,
use,
like time out, bro. Like, how do you find shit like this, bro? Like, how do you find people that want to do this type of shit, bro?
Craigslist casual. I mean,
Craigslist.
Craigslist casual
You
encounter.
can do this shit on Craigslist.
You used to. You used to.
I'm not gonna lie. I do have a Craigslist story. You know, it was not.
Wait,
nothing,
you said you what?
I have a Craigslist story. Not nothing.
Okay. So what's your Craigslist story?
It was,
please?
you know, I was, you know, I'm not gonna say any names, but you know who you are. You know, I was with a bunch of friends, you know, and you know, basically what we would do, like I had no idea about this Craigslist thing until I met like one of my friends, and basically what we would do.
When was this first?
This was in high school. I may have been in 10th grade.
What year you graduated?
2014.
Okay, same year as me. All right,
Yeah.
all right. So now I can gauge it.
Yeah, I was probably in 10th grade,
Okay.
and I'm like hanging out with friends, and you know, we come inside just hanging out, and one of the friends like, oh, you want to call some hookers on Craigslist and just like try to, you know, set up a date with them? And we was like, yeah. So we was calling people. People were answering and really trying to like. We called from a private number. It was like people were answering like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's gonna be 300. You know, you could do anything, just, you know,
half
whatever.
hour.
Yeah, and then I was just
In-call,
like,
out-call.
I was just like, well, you know, at that age, I was just like, wow, like it was just so fun. But I didn't know, like once you said that about Craigslist, I was like, yeah, I remember like calling people, and people will answer anything. You know, they say, yeah, you do anything, just 300.
Wow, bro. Like that's fucking crazy on Craigslist, bro.
Yeah.
There got to a point where I realized, like, I was like engaging in like light BDSM. Like, I had girls like, yo, like, I need a black person for a bukkake. And at that point, one day I remember, like,
and this is what you're finding on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Craigslist was this crazy, bro.
Yeah, Craigslist.
Yeah, it really was.
That Craigslist sounds like a hectic place, bro. I broke my cars off of Craigslist, bro. I have never heard no shit like
I
this,
broke
bro.
someone's back off Craigslist.
This nigga,
He's been beating bitches and
like this sound like some deep web shit.
Dude,
you found somebody
Let
that
me
wanted
tell
to
you
treat you
something.
like a baby, bro.
And the crazy thing is, it's not deep web. Like, I don't know about how far his, but I'm talking about at least about calling people. Bro,
Right.
It was like a Craigslist search. You click on one link and you get a page with numbers and
Wow, bro.
Now
their
it's
services. And
Now it's more convenient. Just Google your city and like escorts. Back convenient.
Right. I remember you was telling me this
That
shit.
convenient.
This nigga said you can just get on your phone and type in your
DC
city
escorts.
and then escorts, and you can find. What do you find on this shit, bro?
I mean, it's like the Better Business Bureau of hookers. Like, what do you want?
What?
Some tranny dick, man dick? Do you want some MILF, GILF?
And-
$80 and under, you broke boy, I'll call it, want them to come to you. What you looking for? Some ebonies, you African American, okay. You know what I mean? Shout out to TransX. I mean, I've been breaking some backs on that bitch.
so I have
shit crazy.
that is crazy. So I have two things. One is about like safety, and another is about, have you ever been in, like, I guess we'll start with safety. Have you ever been in some situations like doing that where like it was a front and they were trying to like rob you? Or
Oh,
it was
yeah,
fake,
absolutely.
and it
Yeah,
was
Wait, so you've been in a situation where somebody tried to rob you,
Yeah.
and you was trying to link with what would you thought it was, or what you thought?
I mean, at one point, I was just like, yo, I'm just trying to smash 69 and then like just like get pissed on. And then like afterwards, and then this bitch shows up and then she's trying to rob me and shit.
Is a bitch trying to rob you?
Yeah.
You said you was trying to get pissed on, bro.
Yeah. Well, eventually at one point, you know, I started
He's into some hectic shit.
you know, at one point I was just like, I got bored and I was like, you know what, one day I'm like, you know, I wonder
This nigga is into
I
some
wonder
hectic
if I
shit.
can shit into somebody's mouth and they would eat it. Like I remember just having that idea and I'm like, I need to find out.
would you be down to do that?
He's not playing, bro.
I'm
not
saying
playing.
like I know you say you would want to do that shit in somebody's mouth, but are you willing to receive that?
I mean, it's called scat. You know, not
That's all you know.
You know what I mean? You don't actually. He
said
some
that's-
people,
yeah.
you don't actually eat the shit, right? You just kind of get
said
them. To,
that's
it's
it.
like swallowing a fart, but then afterwards, when it comes into your mouth, it's like a chipmunk kind of effect. Really, so your mouth just kind of puffers up like a puffer fish and shit.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, about safety,
Dog.
and then about like safety of like, I'm not sure, like, because I know if you're in that realm, it's not really a lot of protection. You really don't. I guess you really don't care. But is protection at all anything that you're concerned about?
It's something that I had to learn. That I remember, like a bitch, like she scammed me, and then I called the cops because I was like, yeah, this hooker scammed me.
You called the cops and said the hooker scammed you, bro?
Yes.
And what did they tell you? Bro?
So it wasn't until she was like, oh, I was like, this person that I was trying to like out, like I gave her some money for party favors, and then she couldn't come back exactly like that. And she's like, well, was this person like somebody that you were trying to like get drugs for? I'm like, oh no, not drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were out here trying to fuck Fifth Amendment, and it was like this Asian cop, and he was just like, dog, motherfuckers have been out here getting murked off that shit, so you better chill.
Yeah.
Like literally, like it's like
Yeah,
serial
bro.
killer.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. That shit sounds like it would just always be sketchy, bro.
Yeah.
Like it has to always be sketchy. Bro.
I felt on the fucking edge. It was like imagine playing old school zombies without speed cola. Without
old school zombies.
Yeah.
Like you talking about like old school Resident Evil?
Nah,
zombies
zombies like
like
Call of Duty.
Oh, like old school
Yeah,
zombies.
Call of Duty.
Oh, you
All
talking
right,
about back
imagine
in the
being
day.
out there without Juggernog.
Yeah, like you're really, it's like it's 50-50. That's
Yeah,
what he's
yeah,
basically
50-50.
saying. It's
Like-
like if you like, I'm not sure if you played like, but if you didn't have those weapons, you probably wasn't gonna last long. Like
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I play Call of Duty, bro. That's fucking
Yeah.
hectic, bro. Like,
But my sense of protection, I'm talking about like STDs.
Oh, I mean,
Like-
at that point, I mean, some points you're like, okay, you have to worry about STDs, but if you haven't had, I mean, at one point, I mean, one of my best friends is like in his late 70s, and he has he still has grandchildren that's under 10, and I'm like, damn, you out here still slaying ass? I'm like, yeah, this is just natural. So I'm just like, you know what, STDs, I mean, like, if you ain't getting gonorrhea or nothing, you got to make sure you take precaution. But there was just one time I was like smashing the shreddy, and I was like, she was like, oh, you don't have to use a condom, and I was just like, you know what, I'm feeling lucky today, so I just did raw, and I was like, damn, this is liberating.
this nigga is crazy,
yeah, it's
bro.
crazy.
A Baltimore training.
This nigga is crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's wild. Because
This nigga is crazy,
yeah, that's crazy,
bro.
That is crazy. I would say I've taken some risks, you know, by not strapping up, but you know,
I mean,
my first thing is like I'm getting like tested, you know, to make sure, like, you know, and it's usually off the.
Hold on, bro. So my bad. I'm gonna cut you
go
off,
on,
bro.
go.
But so I remember you said that you was in the military, bro. Right? Like where did you go? Like what branch of the military you went into?
Navy.
You went into the Navy. So like, what made you decide to go into the Navy, bro?
I genuinely
Like when did you go into the Navy? Actually,
2017.
2017. So this is
November.
3 years after.
Yep.
Like what made you decide to go to the
I was
military,
like,
bro?
I gave myself a time frame. Like, I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree by this amount of time, and then if I don't, then I'm just gonna enlist. And then I reached a time frame. And I was like, you know what? I'm thinking strategically, generationally. Would going into the military now as a like 19-year-old, like as 20-year-old man, would that benefit me when I'm 41? Yes. Okay, then let's
Right.
do that. I'm thinking like, let's play chess, not checkers with the shit.
Nah, facts, bro.
Yeah.
So like, you say so if you didn't get your bachelor's degree within that time, that's what made you go to the military. So was you in school? Like, did you go to college?
I did some community college, Prince George's Community College, and
What was you majoring in, bro?
computer science.
Computer science. How did you like that shit?
There was too much. I realized I'm like, yo, like I could have done all this shit on my computer. Legitimately, I was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, yo, I can go on the dark web.
Yeah.
Like, I know like about cryptocurrency. I know about like all that shit. You know,
Right.
And I'm
This
just
nigga
like,
was hipping me to them cryptocurrency. This nigga sharp to that shit.
and I'm
bro.
just like,
contracts,
and I'm literally in
stuff like that.
community college, and I'm just like, yo, literally, what am I learning?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I'm learning like how to code, I'm learning this, but I'm like, I'm running like bands, you know what I mean? Like I'm coming out of pocket for this shit,
Right.
and I'm like, if I could have did this shit with like just like some Google searches, you know, and some like a trip to the library,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And once I realized that hustle, I'm like, yo, I'm being hustled.
Yeah.
I'm literally being hustled.
That's-
I'm literally hustled on learning shit.
Right.
That's why I dropped out of Frostburg. Is because
Bro,
Oh
and,
my
and that's
God.
why I dropped out of the school I was going to, bro. Like once I realized that I didn't need them people, because I went to school for audio engineering. You know what I'm saying? So when I went there and I realized that all of this stuff is on the internet, like I don't even have to pay anybody to learn this stuff. I could, if I just sit
Or-
down and look for it.
pay half of the cost, because you know I have 2 certifications,
Right.
you know, and I'm in IT, you know, I'm doing well, no school, you know, if I want to move up, you know, if I want to move up in the like supervisor, manager, director,
For
I only
sure.
need 8 business courses, and that's it. you're paying all this money for college. I just finished paying off my student loans, and I went.
So how much did you owe off for it?
Thank you. So it was, one loan was $5,000, another one was $15,000. And this is it could sound wild because it's 1 year school, but I did out of state. I grew up in North Carolina, and I went to Maryland. I went to Frostburg State, so I had to pay out of state tuition for that 1 year. Was a lot of money, and I did it because I knew I wanted to go into IT.
Right.
But once I got hip to the game of just just drop out, get some certifications. That's all they care about. They don't care about school.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I realized too, bro. Like when it came to like audio, like in music and stuff, bro. Like them niggas, nobody gives a fuck about if you have a degree. It's just, is you good at what you do or not?
Exactly.
That's all they give a fuck about. Every jam that I've ran into, every situation I ran into, like working for stuff like that, like it's just they don't ever ask like you got a degree. They just ask for a fucking portfolio. Like
now, if you're trying to be a doctor, go to school.
Go to school, bro.
If you're trying to be a lawyer, go to school.
Go to school. It only makes sense.
Anything besides that, really trying to really understand what I'm doing. Can I get it somewhere else? And if do I need this? Do I need 4 years of this to be not guaranteed a job?
Right.
And that's one thing I realized is that like with people that like, unless you're going into a specific trade in which, or like it's just some self-empowerment type shit, a lot of people get like those degrees and it's just like a dick measuring contest. Like, oh, I went to Harvard, or I graduated from this. So all of a sudden, like, whatever I'm saying is fact. Whatever you're saying, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, just fuck everything that you're saying.
All right, so look, this is the real question. And so you dropped out of the school because you felt as though you could, like what? Like because you felt as though you felt like you could have learned it on your own, right?
Both that and head against the grindstone. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's be honest. Like I'm not the dude. I can't say I'm not gonna sit in the classroom and learn shit, but I'm realizing like if I'm doing that, what's the reason? Not necessarily like, oh, I'm doing this to get a degree, but I'm like, no, really, like, is this necessary for me to be here? Is this the only source of information I can get this place from? Is this something like I was doing like a lot of like preliminary classes and like they were like charging me for those joints, and it wasn't until I started realizing, I'm like, hey, I'm like Googling all the answers to this shit. I'm like, of course I'm learning the concepts. I'm doing a lot of like self-learning and shit.
Especially in IT.
Skating through.
Yeah, like I'm learning all this shit. And I'm just like, wait a second. I've seen like forums of like people who like are like your boss of like department heads. Like they're in the JIT. And I'm just like, yo, I could just ask them like, yo, like I'm trying to learn some code, or literally there's an app WikiHow how to do shit.
Yes. And I will tell you, I work in IT now. I work for a company, and I've solved our outages off of looking up things.
It up, bro.
Yeah, it's like literally the information is there. People will
you just gotta
share
find
that.
it.
You
people share it on the internet, bro.
Facts.
You gotta go look for it.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of moving back on to like just my escapades, if you will. At that point, I realized once the first time I shit in somebody's mouth, I realized. It was at that point.
I thought he was going back to that.
I realized, I'm like,
crazy.
yo, there is a whole world of
some
people. Like we're talking
shit.
I mean, I'm talking to people like, yo, we'll take you to a self-storage unit or some shit that we'll hang you from the wall. Think of like a Vietnamese, like a GI soldier caught in the Vietnamese war, and like the torture shit that they would do. You're not getting maimed, nothing harm you, but it's just like that experience of like looking at a bitch with fear and like and then like you're nutting at the same time, and then it's like you ever nut and then been scared because you're nutting so much.
Question.
Like you're on your.
Hold on,
like
wait. So
let's
hold on, wait.
run the question back.
Wait. So say that again. Ask that question again.
You ever nut so many times that you literally start losing your mind? Like
so many times. I thought he said so much at one time.
Well, both that, but not necessarily. That was good. No, I'm saying like, so there's this thing called urethral insertion, right? Mm-hmm. So you can actually like, there's like anal beads for your dick hole. I found out, and the thing that was interesting about it is that like your urethra it has the same. It's like has the same.
You know what's
sensitivity
crazy?
of your vagina.
It's like I almost feel like he's bullshitting. Like,
Yeah,
I feel,
yeah.
like, this shit is so hectic.
We all like looked it up.
I feel like this nigga he's telling us some bullshit, bro.
I mean,
like,
look,
this nigga
inside your dick hole, it has the same sensitivity as like a vagina. So it's like if the outside of your shit feels good, then the inside of your shit. I was at first, it was like, oh my god, what is? It was like scratching your nose that has never been picked before, almost. But it was like a lot more wet, and then I was like, what is this? And then I just like started violating the shit. Like, of course, you can actually buy sounding tools, like actually like surgical tools for urethra stretching. You know what I mean? And I was sitting there, I'm just like, god damn, like the power of this. You know what I mean? Like
this
there are
nigga
ways
is bullshitting us, bro. I'm telling you, this nigga Devin is bullshitting
search up
us,
urethral
bro.
sounding right now.
This nigga is bullshitting us, bro.
Nah, urethral sounding, it's fucking amazing. Like, imagine being on that point and then being like, oh yeah, you should go to a bar and just run a holla at shit. I'm just like what?
So I want to ask this, and since you said you've been having this urges, you're not feeling satisfied since elementary school. Do you think, are you satisfied, and are you close to being satisfied?
No. I genuinely feel there's a sense of there's like sexual perversion, right? And then there's how close to fucking death. Not necessarily like death, how much like like I want to be shrimpling in my boots type shit.
That's
like,
what you want to do.
Like essentially, like imagine. You can say like humiliation, BDSM. Like there's like that flirtation of that world where I've realized, and there's not like a. There's like a guiding factor of them. Like, all right, once you nut so hard that you like your mind just like goes fuzzy, like you're just white. You're like, I can't fucking think.
This nigga is bullshitting us, bro. I'm telling you.
I would say, like, not on a sexual level, but I have heard of like troops that keep getting deployed, love the fear of maybe one day.
Bro, so look. This is the thing, bro. Like, like you went into the Navy, bro. Like. Like when you went, bro, like you know it's a chance that you like. So what did you do? Like when you went to the military, like
I
what
was
MA?
I was basically like a security officer. Basically.
Okay, so like a security officer,
MP, pretty much military police.
Okay, so what did you do, bro? Like security of what?
I was stationed at a nuke base one time.
At a nuke base where, bro?
Florida.
A nuke base?
Yeah. Well, give us the address.
I mean, you can Google it in Georgia's Kings Bay.
Kings Bay, a nuke base. So like, what is a nuke base, bro?
What I'm saying necessarily like a nuke base on like nuclear nuclear sciences or infrastructure of some kind happen over there. It's common knowledge.
Okay.
And while I was there was like this sense of imagine high school politics but with corporate punishments. And there was this sense of like, yo, I'm not taking bullets. Fuck you. Why? Like stop talking to me like disrespectfully, or stop treating me like I'm fucking stupid.
Right.
And granted, I realize I'm kind of a eccentric person. I realize I said some dumb shit, granted. But it just got to a point where I realized that I was like, damn, fuck this. Like not like fuck this place, but like, oh, like this is the military without any makeup. It's just like imagine a 9 to 5, but if you say fuck you, I'm going home, you go to jail.
Yeah, no, because the military will come lock your ass up.
Yeah. Discharge was like prison though.
Yeah, bro, that's no bullshit. They'll lock you the fuck up. So like, how long did you have to be in the military?
I was in for 4 years.
4 years, bro. Like, did you like that shit?
Nah.
Not really.
Well, actually, no.
So like 3. Like, would you have like? If something was to had happened, like something was to break out, would have had to been deployed?
It was like an option. Well,
it was an option.
So to really wind that back, it was not really like 4 years, it was like 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
So, and when I how I even got out, it was like one of those things where I'm realizing like, oh shit, I was having some mental health issues, and I realized I'm like, look, the Navy had me fucked up. Like it had me playing Russian roulette with the pistol. And I realized, fuck, I need to get help. I got help, and I realized one of the things that was really fucking me up was I'm like, damn, you're around people that it's just a general it's like a toilet bowl.
Like the
of
military,
negativity.
right?
It's just like a toilet
Yeah, the
bowl
military.
of fucking
I hear
negativity.
people say the military is hectic.
It
bro.
was
Mostly
the quality of life was so
everybody.
shitty.
Mostly everybody I know that has been in the military, they always come back and they just be like,
Same.
"Man, like, why did I do this
Literally.
shit?" But at the same time, it's like, of course they gonna say that shit because they going through it right now. But you going through it right now because you setting up for your future.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people that come back from the military and they're just like, man, I should have never did this shit.
Exactly.
But you gotta think back to what was your whole reason in going, because you wanted to do about your future. So you can't really complain. You signed up for that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you in that shit. Like,
It's not more so complaints, more so as it is like a critique of, oh damn, if I would have gone special forces, or if I would have gone intel, or if, literally, honestly, I realized I'm like, yo, this organization is not conducive to my mental health. Fuck the honor.
Right, I feel
Fuck
you,
all
bro.
this
You
shit. At
gotta
the end
get
of the
out
day,
of there.
it's this. At the end of the day, honor and bravado and all that shit does not pay your bills.
yeah, they driving you down mentally. in that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
literally,
Like, I
your
bet,
spirit.
yeah.
When your spirit is literally getting broken, and when you wake up and when you stop dreaming, I realized like there was a constant period where you're not even dreaming. It's like it's like a state of like hellish limbo where you're just like, oh my god,
Right.
fuck
Just
this.
going through it.
Yeah.
So look, when you get out of the military, right? Like I know you said you started doing like the underwater welding shit, bro. Like now that shit is tough.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that shit. I seen the little drink come up about it in Baltimore one time, and I was thinking about doing that shit. Underwater welding.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
it's called an aquanaut, right?
Yeah, so that's what would be like the scientific term I would say.
Okay.
Aquanaut. Commercial diving,
Mm-hmm.
underwater welding, essentially any type of waterborne infrastructure. Like we're talking bridges, boats, if you want a subway tunnel to get built, you're gonna need underwater welders. You're gonna need like basically. The thing that really attracted me to it was astronauts need to become like aquanauts to have like a certain handyman level of proficiency underwater
Right.
in order to become go underwater
To go out of space. They make them get in the suits and go under the water and do shit before they can.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
realized
shocked
I'm
to
like,
that shit.
you know, there was this aspect of critical thinking, like being in a surgery room. Because originally I thought about like, I got on the military, like, do I want to go to med school, do like neurosurgery? You know what I mean? Like, do I want to start like?
That's some sick shit to want to get into. Some neurosurgery, bro. Nigga, you was about to be out here saving lives, bro.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play with human Legos. That saving lives. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm like, how do I make sure this person doesn't die? And I'm like, it's like a challenge. It's
My nigga, like, so you so like, damn, how do I ask this question, bro? Like, so how the hell did you even get into the damn underwater welding shit?
dude, I was taking a master class, and I was taking a rocket science. Master class is like a professional Netflix. It's like going under the hood of people who are like the shit. You know, like we're talking like Samuel L. Jackson, Chris Hudson, DeGrasse Tyson.
People like sell their classes.
Yeah, and I was taking this rocket science class one time, and he talked about how he was 50 meters underwater, and there was a hull breach, and he said something interesting. He was like, imagine having 7 breaths to respond to a situation.
50 feet underwater.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said what ended up happening to him? Like what
And
happened?
I'm like, they got a piece of like a piece of like scrap metal, and they ended up welding it to the inside of the ship to like seal the hull breach.
Okay.
And at that point, I realized, I'm like, oh shit, an astronaut had to become an aquanaut. Aquanaut to become an astronaut. So I'm like, he's welding underwater. So like underwater welders, what's that? And then I literally just Googled that.
Right. Wow.
That was exactly how that conversation.
So
went. I was
and
like,
that's how you got into that shit.
yeah, I it's something that I feel like, what do I give a shit about? Is this something that I can kind of like feed the play part of my mind and just be like, yo, I'm just having fun. Like I'm underwater. If Mother Nature is crushing me on every cubic feet of my body, if something goes wrong, then I like freaking out is not an option.
Listen,
and that intensity kind of.
If you have, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you're claustrophobic, I know that would be the worst thing.
Yeah.
Like that and like mining.
Yeah.
If you don't like mining,
God,
if you're claustrophobic, don't mine.
Yeah.
and don't fucking scuba dive, all right?
Yeah.
Because you going scuba diving so where are you going scuba diving at? Like where are you doing this shit at? Like
So
murky ass water, right?
All murky ass water. I mean, like you're like, hey, go like,
Can't see.
Imagine like Verizon saying, hey, we need you to go fix this fiber wire, or hey, we need like to like pile drive, because I just joined a pile drive. We need to like install this bridge that will be used, and like we need to do maintenance on it. So we need some like commercial divers, underwater welders, people with that experience to come on and get it, and they have to be both proficient. Think of like engineering and construction both on land and underwater. It's still like it's simultaneous.
Right.
And so like right now, if there was a cruise ship that capsized at sea, like I'm potentially one of the people that would go out there. And I'm like, all right, hey, this is a job.
Tough, bro.
This is a job.
That's
like
tough.
search and rescue, all that shit. I'm like, hey, like obviously once you reach a certain level of proficiency, you know what I mean? But it was at that point
That's
I'm realizing,
tough,
oh
bro.
shit,
Yeah,
this
that's
is sick.
So like how many times? Do you know how many times you've dived before?
So like a diving record.
Probably a couple dozen times.
A couple dozen times, bro. And you talking about these like official jobs, or are you saying plus your training?
Yeah, both. Kind of both. And
Couple dozen times. So
deepest
more
I've been is,
or less, like less than 50 or more. Around that.
Yeah, over 50.
Over 50, bro. That's
No, wait. Yeah, less than 50.
Less
less than 50, like, but close.
Yeah.
Sheesh, bro. Like I just feel like that's some shit I wanted to get into, bro. So like,
Yeah.
damn, bro.
I know we talked about it on a different occasion, but I wanted to go more in detail, like how you handle like animals in the water, or like how do you get over that fear?
Animals. I mean, hey, here's hoping you don't fuck with me.
Wow.
Have you ever encountered animals in the
Yes.
water? Like
Jellyfish.
What? Jellyfish.
Jellyfish. I remember looking at some joint, and I remember like I felt like shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I just keep feeling like sharp pains around my body one day. It was like a couple weeks later, I was like, is that a fucking like floating trash bag in the water? Like, what is that? And then I'm like, I see more of them. I'm like, those are jellyfish.
Wait, so you seen them again another day?
Yeah.
So like when you were going there often to work type shit?
Yeah.
So, okay, so it was a work site.
And it was like we were working in the fucking catacombs, dog. It was like 10 hours. 8 to 12 hours
underwater,
like
bro.
Not necessarily underwater, but like you're at the surface of the water, and since you're on the surface, you're still submerged, your body's still in there. So like that's even like, imagine doing construction, but like you're doing it while swimming.
Yeah, I bet that's because you have to be like close to the surface, so
Exactly.
the water's rough
was
still.
Trash, bro.
And this is murky ass water.
It was like just diving in Baltimore like river waters.
That's all that was.
Oh my god! I was like, there were some days when I'm like, I remember just like coming home and feeling sick, and I'm like, I think I'm getting fucking dysentery.
Fucking with that water, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm
like,
like,
so
yeah,
so
like
like when you're diving, like you have a suit on, right?
Yeah, like
so
a wetsuit or dry
you're
suit.
completely, so the water never actually touch your skin, right?
I mean, with a wetsuit, you're gonna get wet. That's why it's called a wetsuit. With a dry suit, no. But I mean, you want to have with the dry suit. I mean, if you're diving at a certain depth, you have to have, with a dry suit, you would definitely want to have like some air coming into it to kind of like balance your buoyancy up, because like that joint starts crushing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that joint starts crushing. Like you come out the water. Yeah, when you come out the water and like, yo, like my suit like bruised my skin up, and you're only at like 70 feet. You're like, damn. Like, imagine this shit at fucking like 150.
And you never had to go that deep before?
Oh, so I've dived down to about like 60 feet. 60 feet. I tried to go down a little bit deeper.
So like when you got that deep, like you felt that shit, didn't you? Like,
oh yeah, the fucking temperature. I mean, the thing that really gets you first is that you literally the first color to go is red.
right? So you
Like
can't
your
see
eye,
no-
yeah, your eyes can like stop registering the color red at a certain depth. And I'm like,
Wow.
And you're just talking about off the pressure.
yeah. Like off the pressure, both just like how much light is not penetrating. It's like, imagine like the rainbow, and that first color goes red.
Right. I get you.
Yeah.
Because red don't even penetrate that deep down there.
nah,
Like the
it's
light,
not.
like, damn, that shit sounds scary, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that shit sounds tough, though. Like I said, though, I seen a little ad about it for Baltimore and shit, and I was like, man, I would fucking do that shit, bro. Like, but that shit, I don't
Yeah.
know. It depends, bro. It depends. So,
Yeah.
like, I remember you was talking about the pay and shit. Like, what's the most you ever got an hour for that shit?
The most I ever got an hour, like 44.
$44 an hour.
I was on one job that I had, and you know, it was one of those things.
That's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, it really was, and it's one of those things where realizing, like, okay, know your craft, know your shit, and these opportunities, you can start being bougie with the shit almost.
Right.
You can be there and be like, hey, I ain't leaving my fucking house unless it's like this amount of money, or nah, I'll request not to do that joint, you know?
For sure. You making $44 an hour. Don't judges make that type of bread, bro?
I mean, yeah, with the job I have now, it's still something more of a like program that you work up towards, you know what I mean? And you know, genuinely, I just believe, like, is this it's something that I can almost feel like, oh, fun, I'm going to work today, like, oh yeah, I'm about to go do
sweet.
I'm about to go do that shit. Like, I have like almost like a giddiness about it, and I'm like, yo, that's genuine. Like, that's better than feeling like dread. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck, I gotta work.
Yeah.
It's better.
That is deep. Now, do you think you selected that job because, again, like, you know, I go always try to find root causes. So I always go back to, like, the urges that you were feeling, like you going into these careers that are, you know, risky, you doing risky things that, you know, a lot of people will not do. You know, do you feel that, is that just part of, you know, who you are? Do you feel like, you know, the medication kind of caused that? And where do you feel, you know?
There was a sense of critical thinking that lured me to the job. There's a sense of fuck what happened an hour ago. Fuck what's gonna happen later. You're here. You need to focus. You're 100% here. You are 100% here, and you have a complex mechanical task to do. You are in a hazardous environment. If you take off your helmet or air stops coming towards you, you die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's that sense of, okay, I need to kind of buckle down and like no bullshit. Like come on, Devin. Like inner Devin. Like come on, focus on this shit. And I realized that like a normal like just being in a cubicle kind of wouldn't be my.
For sure.
Like it's like you know, it's almost like a way for me to get rid of that, like, oh, like that temptation, that urge to do like wild shit, because that wild shit is like, it's demanding like my mental energy. It's physically demanding and mentally demanding. For sure. It's like oh shit, hey, you know how you can't hear sound as good anymore? That means you're like enough too much pressure on your ears, or hey, maybe you're running out of air.
Yeah.
True.
Like if you're not 100% there, that's little things that you're not fucking realizing, and I'm just like, oh shit.
That's some tough ass shit, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, so like you plan on like can you like retire from it?
Yeah. I started fucking with this union, and I realized that, okay, going from the apprentice, the journeyman, the master, the act of getting good at becoming self-sufficient, you know what I mean? Because that's what these guys are teaching me. I'm like, hey, you know, you have tools, you have all of this, go there and do that. This needs to be done, get it done.
Right.
You have your tools. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Well, then you have something to work on, don't you?
For sure.
And it's that kind of energy where I'm like, yo, I'm showing up here. These guys are literally builders of a nation.
For sure.
Like, you have an island. These are the dudes that are building like the hospital. They're building bridges. They're building like just everything. And I started realizing, like, yo, this is a value that I could provide to society.
For sure.
On a level that I was like, okay, it gets me. It's
bro.
kind of like a rationalization to get me out of bed in the morning with like a better, like.
Bro, listen. You have a clutch ass job, bro. Like, the fact that you do that shit, bro. The fact that that's even a step that you got to do to become an astronaut, bro. You're already closer to being an astronaut.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people, bro.
A lot of people.
Then a lot of people, bro. That's some interesting shit right there, bro. Like, if I could, if they talking $44 an hour, bro, I think I would try that shit, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I think I would do that shit.
Hey, get an IT. I'm $10 off.
$10 off. Yeah, IT, man. No, that shit some bread, bro. But look, man, we reached our time limit for real. This nigga Devin could have been your fucking neurosurgeon, bro. He could have been out here for real, like fucking keeping niggas together.
In your brain.
But instead of doing that, he took a step of almost being a fucking astronaut instead.
Yep.
This nigga is on to some shit, bro. Like, if we had more time, bro, I would have rapped to this nigga about like cryptocurrency, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, bro.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk about that shit another time, bro.
Have those convos.
The cryptocurrency combo, bro. You have to talk to this nigga, bro, because
I'm investing.
Bro, listen, this nigga will break the numbers down to you, bro, and like.
There's economics to the shit.
This nigga can get you something together, bro. So
I'm heavily invested in cryptocurrency, so I definitely do.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So we're gonna talk about some cryptocurrency, bro.
Yeah.
So look, man, I appreciate you, my man Blaise, my man's Devin. Appreciate you for being on, bro. I'm gonna get you back on. We're gonna talk about that cryptocurrency shit, bro. Appreciate it, man. It's the last episode of No Brainer, the things you don't know but I feel like you should. And we out this bitch, man. Let's go.
Easy, y'all.
Easy.